Back for a brand new live episode of the Riff Rundown with my friends at Fishman. Again, this is a live lesson, so thrilled to have all of you here today. We're going to be learning I Am the Highway by Audioslave. This is a song that has been requested since I started doing these riff rundowns like a year and a half ago. So I figured we would do it today. It's really great. I'm going to go over the solo too. One of the solos that Tom Morello did during one of their live performances. So we're going to be doing that on acoustic too. So it'll be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead, and before we get started, you know I like to ask a question. So everyone, let me know where you're tuning in from and your favorite road trip song. All right, where you're tuning in from and your favorite road trip song. Again, have your acoustic guitar handy. We're going to be in standard tuning for this lesson. All right, so here we go. So here is I Am the Highway by Audioslave. Again, this is a really beautiful song. When I first heard this song, when this album was released, so this is the Audioslave self-titled debut album, released in '03 or '02. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here. It's a powerful song. It is beautiful, and still to this day is one of my favorite songs ever, really. And I think some of Chris Cornell's best lyric work. It is just such a stunningly beautiful song by the entire band. It's great. Beginner friendly. Once we get to that solo, again, it's going to be a live version of one of the solos that Tom Morello did during one of their concerts. It'll be a bit more challenging. Again, this is one of the easier solos of his. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that towards the end of the lesson. But for the most part here, there's some really friendly beginner chords. Okay, there's going to be one bar chord in this, and I'm going to give you guys options as always on one of these chords too. Whenever I can give options, I like to do that. So before we get started, I always like to know where everyone's tuning in from. And again, if you missed the question, let me know what your favorite road trip song is. All right, favorite road trip song. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look here and see where everyone's tuning in from today, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So we've got England in the house, we've got San Antonio, we've got, let's see, we've got Italy. Ciao. Good to see you guys. We have Munich here, we have Washington, D.C., Michigan, Chicago, Montreal, Seattle, the Netherlands, Colorado, lots of Chicago folks. We got SoCal, all right. Very cool, very cool. We got France, we have another Italy, we got Israel, Oslo, Northern Germany. This is fantastic. All over the world. Thank you all so much for being here and for creating such an awesome community here on the Riff Rundown. This is so great. Got upstate New York. Loving it. All right. And in a moment, we're going to get through some of the lesson. I'm going to read through some of your favorite road trip songs. So be sure to put those in too. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the top here. Now, on the album version, we get these really cool 4-chord swells that Tom Morello does on the electric guitar. So those chords are going to be C, G, D minor, and A minor. Now, when Chris Cornell played this acoustic by himself, he would omit this part and just go straight into that A minor groove at the top. But since we're going over this, and again, I want to blend both the electric and acoustic versions of this for one really cool, cohesive way of playing this. I'm going to show you guys both parts. So we're going to do here, again, in that intro, we hear this on the album, C major to G, D minor, and A minor. All right, so for my beginners here, let's run through how to play those chords real quickly here. C major, again, the formula to make our major chord 1, 3, 5. In this case, for C major, it's going to be C, E, and G. So your first finger, first fret of that B string, that's our C note. Second finger reaching up, second fret of the D string, that note is E. Third finger is playing C, third fret of the A string. All right, we're going to strum from the A string downward, should sound like this. So just like that, all right? And remember, get as close to the frets as you can without touching them. Once we start touching the frets, we're going to get a little buzzing, all right? So try and be nice and precise, close to the fret as you can, all right? So bottom 5 strings, and we're going to strum it, and we're going to let it ring, okay? Same with the rest of these chords here. Now we're going to go to a G major. Again, the 1, 3, 5, the building blocks G, B, and D, all right? First finger, second fret of that A string, that's our B note. Second finger, third fret of the E string. I always have a problem saying that. It's so funny. I don't know what it is. Second finger, third fret of the E string. All right, it's our G. You have your third finger here, D note on the third fret of that B string. Fourth finger, all right, third fret of that E string. It's another G. I'm gonna strum everything and let it ring. All right. Now here we're gonna go to a D minor. I encourage you guys, a big fan of pivot points here. Keep your third finger where it is. As you switch to that D minor, notice how I did not lift it up, because we're going to keep that D note, right? Because that D note is in both of these chords. So why lift it up if we don't need to? All right, so third finger, okay, keep it on that third fret of the B string. That's our D note here. Second finger, all right, I know this is kind of a weird, challenging chord for some of us. It looks a little funny, but I'm going to help you get there. All right, second finger, second fret of that G string. That note is A. And our first finger here is on the F first fret of that E string. Now, when we're playing a minor chord, what's the formula there? It's a 1 flat 3 5. In this case, the flat 3 is that F, okay? So we're going to strum from the D string downward, just like that. So we're going to do one nice swoop there and let it ring. Then we're going to go to our A minor here. All right, so first finger, first fret of that B string, that note is C. All right, second finger, second fret of that D string, that note is E. Third finger, second fret of the G string, and that is our A note. We're going to strum from the A string downward. Again, our target points here, right, our tonal centers, 1 flat 3 5, in this case A, C, and E, just like that. So when we put all of these chords together, it's going to sound like this. Follow along. Let it ring, G. It's a D minor to A minor. Okay, again without the commentary, here we go. And this is going to repeat twice, so let's go ahead and do this 2 more times. Here we go. Last time. That's all that's happening there. Really, really beautiful chord progression, all right? So now we're gonna do here. Again, I'm gonna give you two different options. When Chris Cornell would play this live acoustic, he would do this. And on the record, this is what's happening. All right, so what's this chord here? In this case here, right, in the alternate version that Chris Cornell would do, acoustic, it's gonna be an A sus2. All right, so think about it this way. We have an A minor. We're gonna lift up that first finger, okay? So we're gonna be playing that B note there. So that's that added note, right? That 2, that sus2, all right? The 2 is replacing that flat 3, in that case the C. So we're replacing the B with that C note. So the notes here are gonna be A, second finger, second fret of the D string, E, third finger, second fret, G string, A. Then we have our open B string, so that's our B note. And then the high E. So we would strum from the A string downward, A sus2. All right, and we would strum that. So what we're gonna do first is you're gonna strike the open A string by itself. And we're gonna strum it nice and loose here, but with conviction, all right, letting the pick do the work for you here. So, open A string, open A. Let's do this a few times here. I'm taking this slow. Just 2 more times. All right, so that's happening there. That's in the Chris Cornell acoustic solo version. That's the chord he chooses to open the song with. On the album, it's this. So again, open A string there. But what we're gonna do here, notice we're gonna be playing a lot of the same notes, all right? So check this out. Third finger placing it on the 7th fret of that D string, that's another A. First finger, 5th fret of the G string, all right? That note is C. All right, so that's a note we didn't have over here before, all right? So we're gonna have that there, okay? We're gonna have that open B string and open E string. Now, cool chord, right? This one is called an A minor add 9 because we have the A, C, and E, the 1 flat 3 5, and then we add that B note in there, that added 9, okay? So that's that chord. Really cool chord. If I were playing this acoustic, I like this one. I like this one. Both are great, but I really like the creepiness of this chord. So we're gonna do here, same strumming pattern, open A, like that. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Really, really great chord, great chord. And again, this is a live Q&A, folks. If you guys have questions about the song as we go through it, please put them in the comments and I'm gonna get to as many of them as we can. I already see someone's asking, what kind of guitar is this? This is a 00017E by my friends at Martin Guitar. And in here I have the Matrix Infinity Enhanced Pickups by Fishman. You wanna learn more about those, click the link in my video description. You can see all the cool gear I use for these riff rundowns. So there you have it. Thanks for the question, David. All right, so let's go ahead here and now look at the verses. So when Chris would play this live, It's an F bar chord, okay? I know some of us do not like this bar chord, but don't worry, I'm gonna give you a few tips on making these bar chords just a little bit easier as you're on your journey and becoming a great guitar player. So we're gonna do here, first finger across the first fret, all 6 strings, okay? So a couple of things to keep in mind here is particularly for my beginners, all right, my intermediates and advanced, always good to, you know, have a little bit of a refresher here. We wanna keep our fingers straight. We don't wanna do this, okay? We're gonna get a lot of buzzing. Even if we press, right, it doesn't sound too good. We want to stay perpendicular with these frets. These frets are straight, right? So we want to get our finger nice and straight. It looks like I'm on top of it, but if I were to twist this ever so slightly, see how I'm just behind the fret without touching it, all right? So also too, when you're making your bar chords here, you shouldn't be able to see your thumb or have the tip of your first finger touch the inside of your thumb. Not a good thing. It's going to shrink your hand. Notice if I try to build a bar chord, I can't. See how it shrinks my hand when I have the thumb up there? So placing your thumb right there at the middle of the neck, okay, is going to allow that hand to open up, okay? So just like that, okay, placing that thumb the middle of the neck, okay, right where the bend kind of starts to happen, that's where I want your thumb, all right? So first finger, first fret of all 6 strings, okay? Second finger, we want that on the 2nd fret of that G string. That's our A note. In this case, in this F chord, that's our 3rd, because F, A, and C, 1, 3, 5, okay? 3rd finger, reaching up to the 3rd fret of the A string, all right, that's our C, and your 4th finger just below it, 3rd fret of the D string, that's another F. Now, we want to push through with the thumb, we want to push inwards with that first finger. Those are our foundational fingers there to help make this chord really successful and sounding great. I know you can do this, all right? I know you can do this. And usually bar chords up here, they're a little bit tougher. So when we can really build up our hand to make chords up here sound great, you're gonna be successful in making chords all the way up the neck sound really great too, okay? I'm rooting for you, folks. I'm rooting for you. Those of you who have a tough time with these bar chords, I'm on your side. You got this, okay? Squeeze through, push through, and play all 6 strings. So keeping that in mind, keep those fingers nice and curled here, okay? And that first finger nice and straight, okay? So that's the chord he's using there, at least the chord shape of that F bar chord. The next chord we're gonna have is C, we've already talked about it. G major, we've already talked about it. Now, I noticed when I was watching Chris do some live versions, he did like to do the full G chord here with that 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, all right? Have that extra D note there, that extra 5th. And then we're gonna go to an A minor, just like that. So when we play this section together, and keep in mind, this section is repeated 2 times, these series of chords, all right? So it's gonna sound and look like this. Repeat that again. Now notice we have some open strings as we're switching between these chords. That's totally okay, all right? That's totally okay here, all right? It adds really to that movement of this song. It's really great. So I'm gonna play this nice and slowly here. Follow along. Remember, F, C, G, and A minor is our progression. We're gonna be repeating this twice. I'll do this first pass, okay, with the repeat. I'll do it slowly. Then I'll do it again a little bit faster in context, all right? So here we go, nice and slowly, okay? Let's make sure we're playing this bar chord really great and really strong to the best of our ability, okay? Playing the day you're in. Can't play anything fast, we can't play slow, all right? Do your best. That's all I ask. Do your best, and here we go. faster. Here we go. One more time. Nice and slow there. Again, as you notice, that strumming hand, we're keeping it moving here, even when we have some of those open strings as we're switching from chord to chord. This is cool. Keep the strumming hand moving here. As you notice, and this is something I mentioned before in these riff rundowns, I like to strum from the elbow in a lot of cases. I love the sustain it brings to the instrument. That's why I like to strum that way. If you are someone who likes to strum from the wrist, cool. Do you, all right? So whatever makes you comfortable, I like to strum from the elbow. All right, so that's what's happening there in the verse, repeated 2 times. This is the second part of that verse. It looks and sounds like this. We'll talk about the chords in a second. That's what's happening in that second part of the verse there. So again, a lot of chords that we've already played, just playing them in a little bit of a different order, all right? So we've got the F chord there, down, 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 up, down, up. To C to A minor, quick switch here. So down, down, up, down, down, up. All right? So again, those open strings come back here. All right, let's do that again. Then we go to our G major. Back to that C, A minor, quick switch. So let's do that part nice and slow here. This is the part where he says, I was lost in the city, okay? In that first verse. That's the part we're playing now. All right, so here we go. From here, we're going to go back to our F major bar chord again. C, A minor. To a G. To A minor. So let's do this pass here in context on its own. Then from there, we're going to combine it with the top of the verse. All right, and then I'll go ahead and take some questions live. All right, so here we go from the part I was lost in the city. So, to give it context, let's look at the top of the verse here. Here we go. I'm gonna play it a little bit faster. Here we go. I was lost in the city. That's what's happening there. Now, at that A minor, there's this really cool electric riff that comes in. Not a particularly difficult riff, but it comes in there, and it sounds like this. It leads very beautifully into the C chord, which is what's gonna open up our chorus, all right? So I'll take a moment here to take any questions that you guys have. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps the cause. Share these videos with a friend. As always, I like to, you know, it's such a gift to be able to share something that I really love to do with so many people, and it's a really, really cool thing, and I'm really, really thankful to do it. And it's so wonderful to see such a wonderfully kind community help each other in these comments. Know that I see these comments, and I see when you guys are helping each other and giving each other just encouragement through this hour of these live lessons. Know that I see it, and know that I really, really appreciate it. It really warms my heart to see that. So thank you for being so cool to each other and for helping each other just make a wonderful community to learn. So thank you guys so much. All right, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and see what some of your favorite road trip songs are. All right, I know a lot of you put in some of these. So let's see. Some ELP. All right, solid. Love that. Someone said this one. Super cool. Country Road, John Denver. Love that. Awesome. Can't Happen Here by Rainbow. Love that too. All right, someone said David Bowie. Great. Neil Young songs. Love that. Very cool. Thank you all so much. All right. So this is great. Again, yes, lots of cowboy chords in this song, but which leads me to what's so awesome about Tom Morello's guitar parts here. Very, very inspired by the Ennio Morricone stuff that you see in these spaghetti westerns, right? That really cool, like, baritone guitar, lots of tremolo and delays and all of that stuff. You really hear those inspirations, at least, you know, when I listen to this song, that's where my head goes. I'm like, wow, I wonder if he thought about that. It sure seems like he did. So again, that really cool Morricone spaghetti western type of vibe that you're gonna get with these riffs that Tom Morello so beautifully puts in this song. It's really great stuff. It's really great stuff. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and look into that riff there. So how we play it is like this. We're going from that A minor into, so the end of that verse, into the beginning of the chorus. We'll give it a good down, down, up, down. And then we're gonna play the riff if we choose to play it. Now, how I did it before, if you don't wanna play the riff, play it like that. You're gonna sound great, okay? So if you wanna include the riff, it's pretty cool and it's pretty easy and it's pretty much, you know, our fingers are already where they need to be, so this is good. We're gonna go ahead and get our second finger here, or I'm sorry, third finger. That's like most of the riff right there. We didn't really have to do anything, all right? And it's really, really cool and just sounds so wonderful in the song. So strike the second fret of that G string, that's our A. Second fret of the D string. E, open A string there, third finger plays that C note, which will lead us beautifully into that C major chord. All right, so from the A minor, and we go into that C major. All right, so from there, let's go ahead and look at the chords here, and then we'll look at Tom Morello's guitar part that's underneath Chris's rhythm playing. All right, so we've got C to G to D minor to A minor, riff. C to G, D minor to E major. Pretty cool chord progression, right? I love that E major at the end. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. So again, we're going from C to G to D minor. Now, I'm a fan of pivot points. Keep this in mind if it works for you. Going from that G to D minor, don't lift up the third finger. Just as I mentioned at the intro, we're gonna do it here too, all right? So something I wanted to mention there. So let's go ahead and look at those chorus chords again in this order: C, G, D minor, A minor, C, G, D minor, E. And I'll include those riffs after the A minor, just before that C chord, all right? So coming into the chorus, here we go with that A minor riff, C, G, D minor, A minor, riff, C, G, D minor, E major coming up, and let it ring. Okay, it's just like that. So let's do this again a little bit faster for context. Here we go from the A minor riff. Riff. And let it ring. Okay? So that's what the rhythm section is doing there when we're looking at the lead guitar, okay, the Tom Morello part. It's going to be that riff. We only strike that C note. If you want to play the C chord and let it ring, it'll sound great too, right? Because we got the 3 and the 5 right there too. All right, if you want to give it a little bit more, you can do that. All right, so we've got this. We let that ring. Then we go to G. Just strike the G note, 3rd fret, E string. And over the D minor, this is really cool riff. I'm pretty sure this is what I'm hearing, okay? This is what I'm hearing. I think it's right. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. If I was playing it live, I would play this. It would be this. Okay, I think it's a cool riff. I'm pretty sure I hear it on the on the album. You're gonna play that. You're gonna play the open D string. You're gonna hammer onto that E note with your 1st finger on the 2nd fret. Then the open G string. Then the open A string. Or I'm sorry, the open D string. and that's being played over the D minor chord. I'll do that again here. Last time. And over the A minor, just strike the open A string. Just like that, okay? So here's all the stuff that's happening underneath the chorus. G note. A minor, the A note. Let's do that again from the A minor riff. 3, 4. A minor riff. One more time. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Now once we get to that E, just go ahead and strike the E chord over that too. All right, so here's the section C, G, D minor, E, coming from the A minor riff. Okay, just like that. So once we do that, we go back to a verse 2, into that riff again, and then into a chorus, all right? So we're gonna do here, to give us a little context on what we've done so far, all right? Because I wanna leave the last 20 minutes looking into the solo. Let's go ahead and look at it from the top. Intro, verse, chorus, all right? So here we go from the top with those swells, okay? Or whole notes in this case, we're on acoustic. Repeat. Let's do our A minor, add 9 here. Into our verse, here we go. F bar chord. Repeat this. Okay, I was lost in the city section. Go into the chorus. Let's do that riff. Riff again. E major. And then back to our A minor, add 9. Okay, such an awesome chord. Oh, such a cool chord. So, that's what's happening there. So that was the first section, right? Intro, verse, chorus. Then we have another verse 2, into that riff, and then a chorus. We're gonna have another few measures of that E major too. From there, we're gonna go to the solo. Now, this solo here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna play it on acoustic. You could also play this on electric. I did pick this live version because we could play it on acoustic if we wanted, okay? But if you want to play it on electric, feel free. Get some tremolo on there, get some delay, and you'll be well on your way to capturing the sound that Tom Morello so beautifully does on this song. So, if the solo is like maybe a little too much for you right now, totally cool, all right? The chords that you will play over this section, it's gonna be F to C to G to A minor. In context, here's how it sounds. They're gonna repeat, 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 repeat. All right, so it's those 4 chords there. Again, those of you who aren't familiar with the song, go and listen to the album version, and then go and find an acoustic version of this too. It's such a beautiful song. It's so good. It's so good. One of my favorite songs of all time, not just an Audioslave song or a Chris Cornell song. It is such an awesome song. Such an awesome song. Okay, so the solo here, all right, we're gonna make it as acoustic friendly as possible. I did some artistic license for the ending of it because he does go way up high, and I figure since we're acoustic, did a little bit of artistic license here. So this solo is based off of the live in Cuba version, okay? So here we go. Again, I'm gonna break this up into sections like I always do, all right, and slow and steady. So this solo is going to be in A minor. So those of you who know your A minor scale, your A minor pentatonic too, you're gonna know where a lot of these notes are, all right? So it's a really, really cool, friendly solo, slightly challenging, but very fun, all right? So here we go, I'll play it a little slow here. So again, a little artistic license there at the end because he goes up so high, but a really, really fun solo, all right? And it's friendly, it's friendly, you can do it. So let's go ahead, again, note for note, what we're gonna do here. So, we're gonna break it up, part by part. Let's do this. So we've got this. Get your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of that D string, okay, that note is A, okay? Get your 1st finger here, placing it on the 5th fret of the G string, that note is C. So we're gonna go back and forth 3 times. A, C, A, C, A, C, okay? So. Okay, let's do that again. And again, alternate picking here is totally gonna be your friend. So here we go. So then we're going to add there 3rd fret on that 3rd finger, 7th fret of that G string, all right? That note is D. So let's do that section here, that added note. Again. So now let's look at this part here. Okay, let's play that again. Okay, first finger, 5th fret of that B string, that note is E. Okay, you could use your 3rd finger or your 4th in getting that 8th fret of that B string, that note would be G, G as in go. Back to that E note there, 5th fret. 3rd fret, 3rd finger. We're live. We're live, folks. 3rd finger, 7th fret of that G string, that note is C. All right, so we've got that. And then we're gonna end that riff there on the 5th fret of the G string, C, to the 3rd finger, 7th fret of the D string, that note is A, 1st finger, 5th fret of the D string, that note is G. Okay, so nice and slowly here, here's what's happening. Let's do that again. Now the next part here is going to go like this. Really beautiful and melodic. Great solo here. 3rd finger, 7th fret of that D string, A note. Back to that C, 1st finger, 5th fret of the G string. Again, 3 times. Let's do that again. Now, 3rd finger, 7th fret of that G string, that note is D. All right, so now let's do that with that added D note there. Now we're gonna play that 1st finger here, C note, to that D note. Yet again, 7th fret of that G string. Back to the 5th fret, to our 4th fret, B, 5th fret D string, to 7th fret. I'll play through that nice and slowly here, that entire section. Here we go. Okay, now let's combine part 1 with part 2, nice and slowly. Here we go. Okay, let's do that one more time. We'll get into the next section here. Here we go. Okay, again, all coming from that A minor scale. The next bit here is going to be played a little bit quicker. Again, from that A minor. All right, so we're going to do here 1st finger, 5th fret of the A string. That's going to be our D note. We're going to hammer on there to the 7th fret of that A string, E. We're going to do the same thing, but this time 5th and 7th fret of the D string, G and A respectively. Okay, and again, don't forget to alternate pick here. Going back to that G note there, let's do that again. 3rd finger reaching up, 7th fret, A string, E note. Now flatten it just a little to play the 7th fret of the D string, A. Okay, so it's going to sound like this. This is section 3. One more time. Now Now let's combine 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. One more time. Okay, it's 1, 2, and 3. So far, so good, all right? So far, so good. So now what we're gonna do here, we're gonna repeat that motif of that A and C. And again, 3 times there. So this is part 4, it's gonna sound like this. Got that little bend there with that first finger. Okay, it's pretty fun. So how we're gonna do that, again, the motif of A and C, repeated 3 times. Now we're gonna add that D note there, 7th fret of the G string. First finger, 5th fret of the B string, E, strike it 3 times. On the 4th time, bend it down a little, bring it back to true, to E. So that would sound like this. If you want to bend up, you can do that too, okay? Totally up to you. All right, so here's that part so far. From there, 5th fret G string, okay? Our C note, again resolving on A, 7th fret D, okay? So here is part 4, nice and slowly here. Here we go. One more time. Just like that, all right? Now let's go ahead and combine parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. So again, take your time with this stuff, folks, and have fun with it, all right? Have fun with it. So that's what's happening there, all right? So now this next part here is a little fast. Again, we're gonna play through it slowly first. It's gonna sound like this, slow. All right, I'm gonna play that again, a little bit faster. It's a cool little line. All right, so here's how we play it. First finger, 5th fret of that G string, hammering onto the 7th fret. And again, don't forget to alternate pick here. First finger goes to the E note, 5th fret of that B string. Hammering on there with that second finger, 6th fret, that would be F. Going back to E, resolving there at D, 7th fret G string. Let's play that again. Now we're going to play this bit, E, F to G, landing on the 8th fret of that B string is G. Now we're going to go here, 5th fret, A, to B, 7th fret, to C, 8th fret, to D, 10th fret. Really cool line. Let's add it in with everything else to give it context. Now we're going to bend this up to E and bring it back to true. Okay, now let's include that bend from the top. First finger, 8th fret of E string, C, back to D, back to C, 3rd finger, resolving at A, 10th fret of the B string. Okay, let's go through that by itself, whole thing. Okay, so that's part 5, all right? So that's what's happening there, okay? Now here's part 6. Here we go. Okay, so this is where we kind of get that, we're starting to get little parts that we hear on the album version of this solo. Okay, so 3rd finger, 10th fret of the A string, we're going to strike that twice. Then we're going to hit C. Notice how we're playing this motif instead of playing it here. We're playing it here. Pretty cool. Tom Morello is such an awesome guitar player. Very melodic. This is great. So 10th fret twice, that B string, A. Then bringing our first finger up to the 8th fret of that B string, that note is G, strike it 2 times. We're gonna go all the way back here to E, 5th fret. We're gonna hit G twice here, 8th fret. Back to E, 5th fret of the B string. 3rd finger reaches to the 7th fret there of that G string. That note is D, right? D as in dog. Then back, 1st finger, 5th fret of the G string. Strike that twice, C. Okay, so here's part 6. Now you can do a cool slide there, or if that's too much, just get there, okay? Without the commentary, here we go, part 6. Let me do that again. We're live. Let's do that again. Let's do it right. Here we go. Again, part 6. Just like that. All right. Part 7 is going to sound like this. Okay, this is very familiar to the bottom of our A minor pentatonic. Okay, so we're picking out the notes from there. So what we're going to do here, starting with our first finger, 5th fret of the E string, A, strike it twice, to C, 8th fret, back to A. Striking G here with our 3rd finger, 8th fret of the B string, twice. 1st finger, 5th fret of the B string, E, back to the G note twice, 8th fret. Back to A, resolving the figure here, hit it 2 times. Okay, so it sounds like this. Let's combine it with part 6 for some context. Here we go. Next part. Great little riff there. Great little riff. Now, here's a really beautiful section here, different from the album version, but again, this is what he does in the live version. Sounds like this. Third finger, placing that on the A note, 10th fret. There we go. We want that C note, 8th fret of the E string. Okay. Getting that pinky there, 12th fret, that's our E, okay, 12th fret of the E string. Strike it twice. Get your second finger on the D note there, 10th fret. First finger C, 8th fret, to B, 7th fret. Just like that. Let's play this figure. Again. Now, the next figure here is going to look and sound like this, starting at the D note, 10th fret. Third finger, 10th fret of that E string, D. To C, 8th fret. To B, 7th fret. To G, 8th fret B string. All right, so that's what's happening there. We are almost done. We have one more section, and then we're gonna call it a day, folks. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause, and it's just such a joy to do these week after week. Oh, I do wanna mention, before we finish the solo here, I'm playing 2 shows in LA the next 2 Saturdays. One is my Hotel Cafe show on October 8th. Those of you who are in Los Angeles, I will send over a ticket link if you guys want to come out to the show. We're going to be playing a couple new tunes from my EP, or my upcoming EP rather. Okay, all the information is there. Would love to see you there. Come by and say hello and buy a t-shirt. Good stuff. Just got in some new t-shirts. They're super cozy and comfortable. Okay, so let's go through these 2 parts here. It's going to sound like this. Here we go, from the top. Okay, let's do that one more time. Just like that, all right? So now we have our next part here, and again, this is the part where I took a little artistic license. He does end it up really high, but we're playing acoustic today. So we'll go ahead and do something that's pretty close to what he's doing, all right, on the Cuba concert. So we've got... Or if you want to make it a little bluesy, all right? So we're going to do here, first finger, 5th fret of that B string. That note is E, strike it twice. Third finger, if you want to use that G note there, 8th fret, just like that. Getting that third finger here, we're going to slide it from the 5th fret to the 8th fret. Okay. Then we're going to bend up. As we play that A note here, 5th fret, then we're going to bend up at that 8th fret of the B string, so we're getting that G note up to A. So after that, we're going to go ahead and do that backwards here, A to that G note, 8th fret, 5th fret, E. Okay, so just like that there. Then what we're going to do here, third finger, 8th fret, bending it up a whole step, that's C to D. Bringing it back to true, A note, G note, E note. Let's make it a little bluesy. Let's go to that 8th fret of that G string, to our 7th, to our 5th. And then slide it on back. So this section sounds like this. It's a fun little solo. So let's go ahead and play that solo from the top. And again, we're going to call it a day, folks. That was I Am the Highway by Audioslave. Here is the live solo. There we go. There's the solo, folks. Again, such a fun song. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. As always, wishing you all so much success on your musical journey. If you want to learn more about the cool stuff Fishman is up to, including the R Spectrum DI that I use and the Fishman Matrix Infinity pickup that I have in here, click the link in the video description. And yeah, if you want to check out when I'll be playing in a town near you, Los Angeles, the next 2 weekends, all right, click the link down below and check out my website, AngelaPetrillimusic.com. All the info is there. Again, October 1st, I will be in Thousand Oaks, October 1st, 2022. And then October 8th, 2022, I will be at Hotel Cafe. Tickets are $10. We go on at 8. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hope to see you there. And again, wishing you all so much success in your musical journey.